Hey everyone, and welcome back to more Premier Drafts in the Forgotten Realms. We've been doing pretty good. We just went 7 wins twice in a row. Once with a tempo deck, and it's actually been long enough that I forgot where the other deck was. That's actually kind of funny. Alright. Well, we keep moving. I think we're at like Platinum Tier 1, so we might even make it to Diamond soon. Alright. Deep breaths. Figure our picks. But yeah, last time we had to pick a Stalwart Paladin as our first pick, which is a common, and just like not where you expect to be. Alright, Dancing Sword is a nice card. Warlock class is pretty nice, Ray of Frost is pretty nice, but like it's Dancing Sword. Faraday's Fireball is a nice red card. A lot of these are like, they're good for archetypes, they're not just generally good cards. These are the only, like these four are the 4 generally good cards, and of them Dancing Sword is just the best. Notable colors things. If Hobgoblin Captain and Faraday's Fireball, like those are the reds that I'm going to look for, but those are really the only signal cards, so. I made gold again today, so I get one more pack after my vacation. Awesome. Awesome to hear. Monk of the Open Hand. Not really for limited. You're not drawing cards fast enough. Reaper's Talisman is pretty great. It just is another good equipment. Allows you to tack in very easily. Intrepid Outlander is also really good. Just a 2-mana 2/3 bear is good enough. I think that might just be like base strong enough that I should probably pay attention to Intrepid Outlander. So between Intrepid Outlander and Reaper's Talisman, I think the Outlander is a bit stronger. Another Faraday's Fireball. There are going to be some good kill spells. Your Ambush on the Road is also... Oh, no, I think this is You Hear Something I'll Watch. My mistake. Yuan-Ti Fangblade's pretty nice. More Soul Knife Spies, more Faraday's Fireballs. Yeah. If I get to pick 9 and there's still Faraday's Fireballs, then I think that tells me red is open. I hear a lot of hate towards, like, playing green. It really depends on the format. Green is just very much... It does its big stompy theme. There's not much ramp in this format, other than treasures. Like, other colors ramp better than green in this format, so I understand where it's coming from. Alright, Here's Something I'll Watch is good. Hobgoblin Captain. Yeah, there's not really... This is the only one that's removal. There's no, like, amazingly good cards in this pack. I was going to say, like, there's a notice that that someone took a common instead of the uncommon. But I'm looking at these 3 uncommons. I don't want any of them, and I'm in I'm in this color. Like, I might honestly get Wild Shape rotated all the way back to me. Specifically in this format, yeah, because the ramp is in other colors. The ramp is in red, black. So the main advantage that green usually has is not green's advantage. I faced someone who used Wild Shape, I was just like, wait, what card? Alright. So. Delver's Torch could just say we can go equipment with Dancing Sword. I think Barrowin has the best upside. Our deck doesn't really want Barrowin right now, but it has the most upside. None of these cards have like amazing upsides for me to be fighting for. I want to go speculative, and we just haven't been getting good cards. Like, if I'm not picking Barrowin, I guess I'm picking the Pegasus or the Delver's Torch. I'm not really the happiest with those. Alright, 50 feet of rope. Gloomstalk. Celestial Unicorn, I could try going life gain, because that is white-green. Pegasus for aggro? That is an option, I just don't want to commit to that this early. I don't know, like, in the bomb, rare, aggro, in the bread formulation, this is possible, this is capable of being a bomb, so I chose this over the aggro card. It is a great aggro card, I'm not ignoring that at all. So I'm just trying to decide, do I want to speculate into Celestial Unicorn, or do I just 50 feet of rope? It's kind of funny how you're talking about how everyone hates on green. I've been hearing a lot of people hate on blue, and my first 7 wins draft in this format was blue-green. Yeah. More Wild Shapes. Jeez. Alright. Boulettes is a pretty good one. Delver's Torch can just... I think I'm going to pick the Delver's Torch and just basically commit that I can start grabbing equipment-based strategy stuff. So I can start splashing red instead. That basically opens up all colors except blue for me. My only hate towards blue is the spellbook. It's too janky for limited. Yep, it's not a limited card, and which is hilarious because it's not a constructed card either. There are some good green cards. I think green is open. Another Barrowin if I could pull it off. I have been getting majority white, so if I could get another Barrowin, yeah, I'm gonna go for the Barrowin. It's definitely vulnerable, and no, Dungeon Crawler is not good. It's just a 1-mana 2/1. Like, that's it. Like, sure, it could come back sometimes. That's not why you're even picking it. So here's the question. Underdark Basilisk is just a good 2-drop if I want to go white-green. But if I want to go white-black, Fate's Reversal ventures more. I think the upside of Underdark Basilisk is high enough that I'll pick it over the Fate's Reversal. Alright, so now we see my pack over. And all the good red cards were taken. I have a feeling red's going to be very heavily picked in this draft, so I have to be prepared for that. Ranger's Hawk can venture to help me with the Barrowins. Yeah. Like that. Alright. For the same reason, do we pick a second Ranger's Hawk? I think 2 Ranger's Hawks is our absolute maximum, but I'll take it. Feigned Death can sometimes trigger. Direwolf Prowler is a possibility, but I'm gonna go with Feigned Death because it's often it often stops a kill spell and gives us a good an ETB trigger. So that's the main ETB that they're going to want to kill is Barrowin right now. I think Feigned Death can work. Of these options, Half Elf Monk is a playable. Gloomstalker might work if we match do the adventure deck. Alright, Plate Armor is just... So, Blue Dragon's pretty nice, but we have Plate Armor. That's amazing equipment. We already have 2 good equipment that I'm willing to play in my deck. Like, I think this is an easy Plate Armor here. Also worth noting, there's some really good blue cards in here. There's a Spiked Pit Trap. I do like Spiked Pit Trap despite people's beliefs. Shambling Gas is also pretty enjoyable. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to go with Plate Armor first, though. Alright. Priest of Ancient Lore is just a good 3-drop. Just nothing more needs to be said, and I have 3 equipment for it. Prosperous Innkeeper, if I want to focus on green splashing black, that could work because it gets me a treasure token. So the Prosperous Innkeeper is definitely considered. The Veteran Dungeoneer is a nice additional venture, but I think we have enough ventures right now. I think we want the Priest of Ancient Lore as just a good value card. Prosperous Innkeeper can be life gain, and it can be color splash. So I am considering the Innkeeper, but Lore is just... I think it's just that good. I think Prosperous Innkeeper is just that good. It was in my 7-2 deck, but it wasn't the Wizard Spellbook that actually helped. Yep, fair enough. So yeah, we have 3 green cards. They're all pretty premium, but I think we want to keep focusing on not on white-black right now. I think I'm going to go with either the Fane Blade or the Zombie Ogre. Looking at our curve. Yeah, I think we actually go with the Zombie Ogre here. The Zombie Ogre is good for our curve. If we take out these... Yeah, so let's just imagine we're taking out green. I think we still could probably splash green in, but like looking at that curve, yeah, we want a bit more like mid-game, like ramp up into this stuff, and we also like the venturing, like the Shisra could be good, could definitely be good, maybe in the future. White Dragon as a top end. And the fact that this is pick 4, that no one to my left, I think, is a white deck, unless there's like a bomb white card that appeared. So the White Dragon is a very happy finisher for my deck. Portable Hole, I like to allow for tempo. Hama is very good if I can manage to splash blue somehow. Do I speculate for that, or do I just pick the safe Portable Hole? That's the big question. There's also, you hear something on watch, so... And if I'm splashing, I feel like I'm splashing green, not blue, is the main issue. And there's a dungeon map. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. There's no way I'm getting any of these back, is the main issue. Alright, auto-selected Hama. Sure. We'll see if we can splash the color in. Alright, Precipitous Drop, Removal, and Venture. How can I churn it down? Alright. Here we have a removal spell. And now there's no white or black. So if we splash in Hama, I don't think we want to splash in any of these other things, though. Yeah, none of these cards are really good for our deck archetype right now. I'll pick the Neverwinter Dryad just in case we end up actually going green, because we have enough green cards to make that a possibility. I don't actually want the +2 mace. I don't actually want the Iron Golem either, though. The Herald of Hadar is a final, like, mana sink. Though, with Ranger's Hawks and 50 feet of rope, I don't think mana sinks are the issue. But 5 mana 4/4 could just be good. Sometimes 5 mana 4/4 is just a good card. Gosh, the fact that Paladin's Shield costs 3 to equip. Like, why? Alright, Ambush on the Road might be able to be used as a combat trick, so I'll take that one. Alright. We got Shistra back. So 19 cards, yeah, I think I'm going to speculate onto that on the because it might be, we might actually be capable of pulling it off. I think the third Ranger Hawk is a bit much. But I don't want the Ranger's Longbow. Oh, auto-picked. Direwolf Prowler. Yeah, we have 19 playables, and then we have some good green cards. If we want to splash in green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to make it somewhat viable, though Ranger's Bow is not equivalent of the other cards. The double Barrowin definitely helps. 4th Ranger Hawk. Or 3rd, I guess, because I didn't get the other one. Drider, I need a way through. Yeah, Guardian of Faith is just... It's a 3 mana 3/2, and then sometimes it stops their combat trick kill stuff. So I'll go with that. Dwarful Champion's pretty nice. Hunter's Mark's pretty nice, but I think we just want to go white-black if we can. Just make a more consistent deck. If we want to splash, we want to get blue splashed in, not green. Ooh, that Dragon's Fire is very tempting if I could actually have pulled it off. Alright, I already have a Delver's Torch. If we put Delver's Torch over... If we put Delver's Torch over to the right, I learned that I have 0 2-drops. So we're taking the Horde Robber because it's a 2-drop. And no other reason. The fact that it also could be good sometimes is cool, but... I'm taking Grim Bounty. The Dawnbringer Cleric might rotate back. Because Grim Bounty is just a really good card. But yeah, I just realized how few 2-drops I actually have. And that will be the deciding factor. It means I might have to play the 3rd Ranger's Hawk as literally just a bad 2-drop. Not where you want to be, to put simply. Warlock class is kind of a 1-drop into a 2-drop. I'll try it out. It is a win condition at times, and it is 3 mana like cycles at other times. Hired Hexblade or Keen-Eared Sentry. I actually think the additional 1 point of health makes this card worth the while. Like, these are just not effects I really care about. They're not going to target me, they're going to target my creatures, and it's very rare that a deck is capable of venturing more than once in Constructed. Or in non-Constructed. Alright. It's only good with Treasure. It's a 2 mana 2/2, so I'm accepting that, and then sometimes I could venture into a Treasure token to make it better. So Sepulchre Gao has impressed me, and as I said, I just need more 2-drops. So, like, I have been seeing people do amazing things with this. Relic Maneuver would be good if I had the 2-drops to back it up. That's the thing. I need 2-drops to back up to be able to play that. Alright. Oof. If a deck can venture, it will at least finish a whole dungeon even in limited. That's at least what I noticed. Yep. Thieves' Tools to get myself more treasure, or Hired Hexblade just as another... I'm just going to make sure I have more than enough 2-drops now, and then I could start considering what is the proper 2-drops later. Oh, that's why. My 2-drops are in green. That's why I thought I was good on 2-drops. So Enchantment Destruction is actually good, because there's 2 colors in this format that have enchantment kill spells effectively. Dwarful Champion or another Feign Death. I'm going to go commit to Feign Death. I'm going to see if it's actually as good as it could possibly be. Zombie Ogre as another top end. Dawnbringer Cleric actually rotated around. I appreciate it. Now we actually have our choices of 2-drops. We could probably take out the Hexblades. If there's a deck where Mimic is a good 2-drop, Nah. Still no. Gosh, all the Ranger Hawks. All the Ranger Hawks. I can't imagine myself needing more than 2, though. Alright. That probably gets cut. We now have more than enough 2-drops. So if I take those out, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we kind of have a 6th in Dancing Blade. And then 8th in Ranger's Hawks, and Warlock class. Alright, so we have a curve. We have more than enough ventures for Barrowin to work. We need to get rid of 4 cards. Herald of Hadar is unnecessary. We have the 2 Zombie Ogres. Those are preferable. Gloomstalk is pretty nice. Again, if we manage to splash, we want to splash the blue Hama, and I don't think that's worth. Yeah, so Horde Robber is very much, if it can get through, which at times it will, it's going to be amazing. Let's put Delver's Torch as a 5-drop, as it belongs. Alright. I'm thinking Delver's Torch is actually the weak link here, which is pretty uncommon. I think one of the Half-Elf Monks, one of the Plains. And it's either Warlock class or Ranger. I think with the 50 feet of rope, 2 Ranger's Hawks is a little much. So we have still 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 proactive. We have 5 proactive 2-drops, 2 reactive 2-drops, and Warlock class. Yeah, I think this could work. I think this very much could work. We also have a Gloomstalker, which we could reanimate with Barrowin for when it has Double Strike. The Zombie Ogres means when I trade with the Barrowins, I still get something out of it. Like, I think this is a good deck. We're gonna see how this fares. Definitely one thing I'm noting is a lack of removal. A lot of, like, pushing my pressure, not a lot of getting rid of theirs. And that is an issue. That is very much an issue. We have a Grim Bounty, and we have a Precipitous Drop. I think that's basically our removal, and that's not good. Oof. If a deck can venture... Oh, yeah. How's it going, Weebish? How's it going? We just built a deck. It's a bit iffy, but it has 2 Barrowins as our win condition. It's just it has no removal. It has 2 removals, and that's all it has to its name. So, that could be terrifying. This could go very wrong, but we're going to just go low to the ground, and we're going to just keep pushing, and hopefully it works. We have enough venture, so if we get to a dirtily board, we can win that said dirtily board. Alright, I think I'm going to play Dancing Sword over the... Okay, maybe you hear something on watch on the Malison. Yeah, getting a Malison this early means I think I want to save the Dancing Sword for another turn. I'm going to watch that, take it out before it can venture too much. Wow, and it even would have ways to keep it tacking in safely. Alright, then I could Precipitous Drop the Dungeon Crawler, if I'd like. Or if they play a creature. Yep. Venture, get myself a Scry. Another land's good. So a few of these that could be good here. So another Swamp gets me to my Grim Bounty, which allows me to treasure 2 Zombie Ogre. Alright. Definitely would have rather had a land, but Or whether I had a creature, but I can accept this. Are they stuck on lands? Alright. I might actually play the Dancing Sword. I don't think that's enough of a threat for me to Grim Bounty, and I'd rather just take it slow. Having a rough week, but I've been hyper-focusing on Borderlands 3, which has been fun. I need a break from all the lore and philosophy hyper-fixations. It's a lot of reading. Oh, yeah. Like, that sort of stuff is fun until you're forced to do it. That kind of focus on that is fun until you're forced to do it. So, I can see that entirely. Alright. I'm a Grim Bounty the Soul Knife Spy before they have an opportunity to start drawing cards with it. Then I can use that treasure token to play Zombie Ogre. Oof. I'm doing good. This person has a very, like, good swing in and kill deck. I just realized Curdle's ability is kind of like Thieves' Tools, just like a slightly more passive. Alright. Did not get a land, but I could still Zombie Ogre. Unfortunately, I had to do it like this, but hey, they're stuck on 3 lands, I can be stuck on 4. Then I equip the Dancing Sword to this. I attack. I don't think I plate armor unless I draw a land, so I can hold up a Feign Death for the Zombie Ogre. Because they're probably looking for a kill spell. They might be very excited that I played the Zombie Ogre so that they could kill it. But I need to start applying something. Curdle becomes an issue. I want them to keep tapping mana to activate Curdle, or to equip the Thieves' Tools to it, as seen here. Alright, so they're doing a 4-point life swing when you take count the gaining 1 life, but I'm going to be dealing a minimum of 5-point life swing. Alright. Milled the Gloomstalker. I think that's technically good for me. Oof. I just realized I used both my removals already. Like, I drew my removals, so I didn't even think about it, but I think I used both my removals already. Alright. So 5-point life swing beats 4-point life swing. And yes, I could have equipped plate armor instead. I'm doing this so I could hold up a Feign Death. This only returns creatures. So if they have a destruction for my plate armor somehow. If I could get planes, I can tap down the Curdle or whatever creature they play here. And keep going. Alright, Sepulture Gal. I'm perfectly happy losing the Sepulture Gal. Alright. Definitely behind. Curdle's very good card. Definitely behind. But not out. They still need 3 turns of attacking to kill me, and I need 3 turns in response, but my 3 turns come first. So I am winning the race just very slowly, and only as long as there's no other triggers like that. They don't break the cycle. Oof. Double rolled it, still didn't make it. Oh, that's good. Alright, now I can kill the Curdle. And I think taking out their ability to do that sort of stuff is actually of value. I actually want them to spend their resources trying to kill the Zombie Ogre. Not only because the Feign Death gives it +1/+1, but because it just drains them of actions this turn. Charmed Sleep. Alright. Well, your ambush on the road still takes care of that. But I think it is still more important to watch the Curdle and take him out. Oof. Made an account for just moderating on Discord, which has been so good for me. Glad to hear. Glad to hear that that's been out for you. So if I draw planes, I can actually play the White Dragon, and I'll re-equip it later. There we are. And this is 5 damage of equipment, so it actually is the kill shot. So yeah, White Dragon with the equipment is actually a kill shot. Equipment putting in the work. A rare and an uncommon. The good equipment in this format are darn good equipment. It's the common equipment that are at issue, that aren't very good. Alright. Oof. Well, that's 1 win. We definitely felt the lack of removal, but the You Hear Something on Watch? I guess the You Hear Something on Watch is removal, so we still have 4 removal spells. So we do have some removal, but we very much are a deck where we play our plan, and our plan has to be better than theirs. Which is, in draft, something I'm not always comfortable with, because we have no, you know, our only rare, I think, is the blade, is the sword. Huh. Gotta figure that out, but we're doing good still. We're doing good still. Senko, I feel like I've faced you before. That name sounds so familiar. Alright, I get Warlock class into draw cards. And we keep moving. Community mod is quite chill, so I just need to remind people of Twitch stuff. Just a sec, I gotta focus. I mean, this is a playable eventually. The other 2 are just lands. Yep. We had a raid with a bunch of trolls yesterday, which was annoying, so it kind of stopped me from doing anything for a bit. Oof, sorry to hear that. Alright. I hope... Yeah, venturing into the dungeon is not going to be my first play. Just, I refuse to allow that to be my first play. My first play, unfortunately, may have to be to Hear Something on Watch the Nadar. Ugh, that feels bad. Swamps don't help it. The fact that 50 feet of rope only, like, holds them down when they're tapped means that can't even stop Nadar. This, at the very least, should scare them into not attacking. And if they do attack, I get my benefit. So, I'm happy with this response. Definitely this kind of slow game that I didn't want to see, because they have a good rare and I do not. Just do this now, before they even venture. Maybe I should have let them venture first, so that they could do their play and then... God. So they deal additional damage, and they 1-for-1. They stopped the trade. Gosh. That is not good for me. And not getting the double white for Guardian of Faith also meant that was not an option. I'll play Barrowin, block Feign Death. That's my plan next turn. But the fact is, that's a next turn plan, and it might be too late already. Thanks for giving me the planes now. A little late. Yeah, if they attack and buff up their Nadar, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I guess I just block. As much as I don't like that kind of block. Yeah, they got Nadar on turn 3. I didn't have good plays. That's what happened. Spike Pit Trap. So now they even have a kill for Barrowin if I try to combat trick. This is a nightmare. They have the responses, and... like, I can't play my combat tricks, because my combat one involves them being tapped, and the others just don't work here. So if they Spike Pit Trap this, that's actually good for me, but I have to let them Spike Pit Trap it now. If they're smart, they will just attack with Nadar, give Nadar a +1/+1 counter, and I cannot stop it. If I block, and I use Feign Death, they respawn by killing it. Or, they can do that. Oh, but then Nadar just ventures, and now Barrowin doesn't even trade with the Goblin properly if they put a +1/+1 counter on it. Alright. Well, now I actually have to trade with the Goblin of all things, which tells you just how far behind I am. Alright, well at least Barrowin's going to come out back as a 4/4, so it can actually properly block Nadar. And I definitely need the 1/1 over the other enchantments, not the current board. Alright, so I need to have the Guardian of Faith ready to protect my Barrowin. So I think we just Dawnbringer Cleric to gain life, because there's no enchantments to destroy, and exiling a card from the graveyard doesn't help me. Oh, I can't. Never mind. Don't even have my Venture complete. Don't even have a creature in the grave to pull out with the Venture. Oh, they just equipped the Longbow. So I have to double... They equip the Longbow, I have to double block, and then when they combat trick, I Guardian of Faith to protect my characters. And even then, they're still venturing. They're still getting the way out in front. I just have to deal with it. And I don't like that. 3 cards in hand. It's kind of funny. I always feel like they get more cards than me, and then I'm still, like, drawing through my deck faster. Always feels weird. So yeah, my guess is they're equipping the Ranger's Longbow and it. Oh, if they do that, they can't spike Pit Trap. So they should attack, see the block, and then in response spike Pit Trap, and then Iron in response Guardian of Faith. There we are. Alright. So now they venture. Probably just scrying again. That's my guess. Yep. Because Lost My Fendelver is just the best one. This is a trade I can accept. And when they spike Pit Trap to say, no, I'm winning this trade, I get a Guardian of Faith and nullify their spike Pit Trap. Alright. I can then put a +1/+1 counter on Guardian of Faith, which will allow me to attack in with it. And then I have your Ambush on the Road ready. I like that a lot. Some +1 counter on the Guardian of Faith. Now I can attack in with it. I'll take this trade as well if you offer it. I think I found a way back in. I think I found a way back in. And that feels good. Alright. So I'm okay using Ambush on the Road to... Okay. I have a few options with your Ambush on the Road. I have a few options with the Ambush on the Road. Oof. I also have Warlock class coming in soon. Yeah, if I draw a land, I could actually attack with the 4-3 and the 4-4, and if they just let it through, I Warlock class and win the game. Compel Duel, turn that into a +3/+3. Alright. 7/7. Alright, 4, 5. Yeah, not enough. So I'm just gonna play one red goblin. I think. Yep, I think I'm just gonna block with a 1/1 red goblin. Because why not? The thing doesn't have trample. So we just move in. That's a 4/4 again. Alright. Here's the question. Do I make it bigger so that it stays in play? Or do I return to hand so I can venture? I'm going to make it bigger because I have the rope for venturing. Yep. So now they get their treasure token, but I'm still in play. Alright. So I have no creatures in here to bring back. So I'm just going to attack with both. And if they're foolish enough to let it through, I'm going to play the Plains Warlock class and win the game off of this. But they'd have to let both through, which I don't think they will. But yeah, Spike Pit Trap is really good, by the way. That's a trade I can accept. That is a trade I very much can accept. They took 8 damage. I can just Warlock class, level up Warlock class, bring them to 2. Okay. Just a sec. Let me gameplay. I do not have auto order trigger abilities on. Perfect. Alright. First. Yep, I like that. So now they're at 2. So I attack, and if anything dies on my turn, the double trigger kills them. Even if they destroy that, I still have 1 trigger to... I have 4 mana draw card, just saying here. So that's also effective. So we have... So that was like low board pressure, but high victory win condition pressure, basically. They're gonna have to dark pool. They're gonna have to dark pool just to gain a life to get themselves out of range. Where just attacking with my 4/3 is enough to kill, because if anything dies, basically if a creature dies during my turn, they lose the game from 2 health. Warlock class, just 7 mana lava axe, good enough, good enough. Whew. And yeah, obviously they were correct not to take that hit. And, like, chump trading was also not really an option they had. But yeah, it turns out my combat tricks were just good enough. Alright, we have a Horde Robber. Then we get hear something on watch if we want to do a combat trick. Yeah, we have a Horde Robber and we have combat tricks. Okay? Like, we don't need much more. Alright, Shambling Ghast does not effectively block Horde Robber, which is fantastic for me. And if they give me my treasure, I get an early Barrowin. Yeah, I'm attacking in. Give me my treasure. Alright, great, I get a free trade. You create a treasure token. Good for you. But it costs you a card. It costs you a card to create that treasure token. I see. Alright, great thing I heard that on watch. Grim Wanderers are pretty loud. It doesn't have proficiency in stealth, it seems. That was actually a good play on their part, as far as I can tell. The only thing I can think of is Bull Strength is a combat trick, and that only gives it +2/+2. Compel Duel is sorcery speed, which is why it's bad. Like, yeah. Clattering Skeletons. Alright. I don't think I could attack Clattering Skeletons. Play my Barrowin. Ranger's Hawk can start venturing, but I don't think that's where I want to be right now. I'll let them get through the first time, and then I'll start And then, because next time I hold up Feign Death, so... You can deal 4 damage this time. I'm gonna start by attacking. Because this is a race that we kind of tie in, and I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm gonna play Sepulchre Gal first. So what I could do is I could block, Feign Death Barrowin, sacrifice Barrowin, and then... Or I could just take 4 and deal 6 on the backswing while still applying pressure. Owlbear. That's a good one for them. Here we go. So I'm okay, yeah, sacrificing Barrowin to buff my Sepulchre while gain a card from Feign Death. Alright, so I'm going to start with that. Alright, good on their part. So, let's see. If I repel down, I'm reliant on using the treasure to use Guardian of Faith. If I venture, I get a 1/1 Goblin, and then I have a Feign Death still available. So I can actually double block with Barrowin and the Goblin. There we go. If they only attack with Clarion Skeletons, I'm okay blocking and Feign Deathing now. I have a few options. I appreciate all of them. Alright. I'm gonna just make this survive now instead of later. Alright, so we take 6 damage, which is definitely bad for us, but we have other benefits still. This will come into play with a +1/+1 counter on if we want. Alright, so they got 2 lands. Yeah, I could churn Barrowin into a... Yeah, 5/5. Which is actually good for me, because now I can sack Horde Robber to churn Sepulchre, backswing hard. Yeah, I'm going to start by venturing, drawing a card. I've now completed a dungeon. Okay. So I like this play. So I have no creatures in my grave yet. But now I play Dawnbringer Cleric, sacrifice Dawnbringer Cleric to Sepulchre Gal, attack for 9, and I get Dawnbringer Cleric back. I'm gaining a bunch of health in the process. Gain 2 life. Gain 2 life. Ooh. So now they can trade their Owlbear for the Sepulchre Gal, or can allow themselves to go down to 5. Which is great for me either way. Block there. And let's see, they have to double plus Bull Strength to kill me with Owlbear. I'm gonna play assuming they don't have it. Like, very unlikely. Alright. That's good for them. It's also pretty good for them. Alright. That's their board. Alright, I think I like this. So I can Priest of Ancient Lore, gain a life, draw a card. I can then sacrifice a Sepulchre Gal, so when I attack, I gain a life, draw a card again, and then I can Guardian of Faith on the swing back. Or, let's see, I can 50-foot rope, tap down the Owlbear. 5, they'd have to quadruple block to kill Barrowin. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep down the clattering skeletons and just leave this board state, because I think this board state's a positive for me. They upgrade the Null Hunter, I block. Okay, it's no longer a positive for me. I'm trying to think, do I have a way through there? On the question of the day, was it referring to tabletop games like D&D? I'm actually talking about personality, because all the idea of tabletop games is to represent real life. So I'm using D&D terms to help me represent a real theme. That was the intent of that. All right. Destroy that. Alright. They're at 10 health, so attacking with Barrowin, getting a Dawnbringer Cleric doesn't really seem that good. Sacking with Sepulchre, gain another card draw? But then I leave myself pretty unguarded. So I'm between tying up the skeleton and just ending my turn. So yeah, if you want to answer in D&D terms, I'm perfectly happy with that, but the intent was, like, in real life terms. Another Herd Gorger, great. That's really bad for me. Because I used all last turn to stop that. And so I don't have one this one. So in D&D you want Charisma, but in real life you'd want Intelligence. Or, oh, Intelligence is better, is what you're saying. Okay. Let's see. So I could use the Feign Death. Ooh, I like this. So this becomes an 8/8. Basically has to be blocked. I'm gaining life, so I'm not even, like, in a bad spot. And I have a Feign Death ready if they want triple block in some way. This is my kill for the Hill Giant Herd Gorger. If they decide to chum back block, I can, like, do some trades. I can sacrifice the Priest of Ancient Lore to increase Sepulchre Gal, use the Feign Death to make it even bigger, to bring this back, gaining a life and drawing a card. But yeah, wow, they just took it. That impresses me. That is legitimately impressive to me. Alright, so now I'm assuming they're going to do a heavy swing back. Oh, just those two? There we go. There's the heavy swing back I was expecting. Alright, hold up. I think I Feign Death here, make the Sepulchre Gal big, and then I start declaring blocks. Oh wait, cancel. Okay, so here's the idea. So now I can block here. That thing doesn't have trample. Block here, gain ready to kill it. And I would take 7, which is unacceptable. I then have to block here. I'll block here as a security. Now, if they have trample, they have other things. Alright, so then from here, I then sacrifice the Priestess of Ancient Lore. Make this into a 4-3 so it can kill the Owlbear. And it comes back into play, gaining me a life and drawing me a card. Alright. I can now attack with Barrowin, re-equip the plate armor. See, this is a 5-5. I can just attack with Barrowin, equip it to Priest of Ancient Lore, attack with both. No. I want to be a little protective here. What do I want to bring back? The Sepulchral or the Dawnbringer Cleric? I think it's going to be the Ghoul here. Because the Ghoul still has all that sack threats that it can pull off. Alright, another chump trade. And I think I re-equipped the plate armor to the Horde Robber to make it very hard for them to get anything done. Alright. So this block here, this block here, this block here. Or I can go this block. Ooh. So if they attack with all, I'm actually in a good spot. Oof. So let's see, if I re-equip 1, 2, 3, so I have, hold up, I have 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so I cannot equip this multiple times and get around. Five, 6, so they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage if I try to do something tricky. I'm gonna just attack with a Horde Robber, see how they respond. They could let us through. That means Warlock class is a pretty good win condition. Alright, so they quadruple block, so that's 4, 5, 6. That's enough to kill, but I can kill their Knoll Hunter on the way. And I am happy with this trade. Take out their Knoll Hunter, I lose my Horde Robber, but I have much better threats than Horde Robber right now. This will end up being a 5-4. This will end up being much more threatening. There we are. So they need to draw some Warherd Gorgers or something like that. Don't know where my cat went, but I should make sure she's okay. I'm assuming they made a noise. Alright. You take care of your cat. You take care of your little kitty. So let's see, that's 6 damage total. So I'm actually... And I can bring back the Dawnbringer Cleric. I think this is lethal. Alright. So I think this is 3 ways to lethal. Yep. Spoils of the Hunt. This deals how much damage? It's just 7 damage, correct? So I turn it into a 6-8, and I don't lose to that. I think that's their one combat trick. The other card's just a land or something. They have to have another combat trick. I have to assume that I win the game off of this attack, by the way. There is no point in me not playing as if I won. Alright. And that's a positive for me. That's a win. Awesome. So even though we don't have kill spells, we have enough combat tricks that we basically have kill spells. Diamond rank, everyone! We actually made it to Diamond in time. Today's the 30th. I believe the season ends at the end of each month. So that's actually really good for us. And we're at 3 wins with this. That's nice. That's nice. Whew. Good run going good. Could find it, but you should be fine because all the doors have been closed since I last saw him. Alright. Alright. That's good. At least that's good. Alright. We have Ranger's Hawk into Delver's Torch, into Plate Armor for a 2-mana equip, into Grim Bounty. So while we do need to draw more lands, we have plays to get us to the lands. To be clear, Ranger's Hawk is not a very good play, but Ranger's Hawk with a Delver's Torch might actually be an okay play. Because, yeah, I can equip the Delver's Torch, and then I have a 2/2 flyer that ventures... I basically have a turn 3 planar ally. And planar ally is a win condition. Very slow win condition, but a win condition. So I have 3 draws out of land for that, and I've already made it. Alright. I'd assume he just left in a weird spot. Okay. Entirely possible, and I'm good banking on that. Alright, Pixie Guide. I think I'm sticking with that all-in play. Pixie Guide is not aggressive. I'd love to take it slow. If they leave their mana up, I don't want to equip Delver's Torch into a Sign of Stygia or something like that. So I might not play into that. But if they play like a 3-drop, I'm happy equipping Delver's Torch and swinging in. Oof. That makes it really hard. Let's see. If they bounce, how devastating is that for me? I play Swamp, I play the Ranger's Hawk, I do it again. And if it's Sign of Stygia and they get a bad tap, then I'm in good spots. Spoils of the Hunt. Well done. Well, they use a kill spell on a Ranger Hawk, okay? Like, I think I can accept that. I think that's an acceptable response. Next turn, I could Swamp Grim Bounty if I draw another land. Yeah, I could Swamp Grim Bounty, their Displacer Beast. And if I draw another land, I get to Plate Armor or Sepulture Goal. And then... Or yeah, actually using the treasure, I can just White Dragon immediately. Plate Armor equip, attack with a 7/7 warded White Dragon. Like, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty good. Otherwise, I could spend the treasure on Zombie Ogre. I would really like a land, please. I always feels good when they have the Pixie Guide rolls and they still get below 10. But seeing it here just shows me how often that occurs for everyone, because I've always had those. All right, this is a big decision point, everyone. This is a big decision point. If I play Zombie Ogre, I have established a very big threat, but I've also made it so that I can't play White Dragon if I get a land. I think the Ginny Windseeker getting knocked down is a great way to win this game. If I don't draw a land for a few more turns, then the Sepulture Gal just does not make up for the loss of the Zombie Ogre. I have not played enough threats for them to really charm to sleep anything. I think I just Sepulture Goal. And then next turn I could Torch and basically force them to respond. Or if I draw a land, I could White Dragon or Ogre. Like, I have a few options. This is not a good spot. By no means is this a good spot. But it's a spot. Yep. That tells me they actually have another kill spell for the Sepulture, so they want me to equip it and then have my Sepulture die. Or get Charmed Sleep or something like that. Close enough. Two is not enough to play a counterspell. Every counterspell in this format is 3. There we go. This is what I was looking for. We'll just tap you down. Might as well attack for 2. Alright. Next turn I could plate ogre. I could plate armor, equip. Charmed Sleep there. Fair enough. Or I could Zombie Ogre attack and know that... I could attack knowing I could sack the White Dragon to buff my Sepulture, and then Zombie Ogre. But I definitely need to find something to do. Yeah, it's just like, this is the problem with equipment. They're so expensive, it's hard to play. If I draw more lands, okay, if I go Zombie Ogre, scry for a land, then on another one, Venture, I could ambush on the road to bring my White Dragon back. So I think the play is just Zombie Ogre and chill. Because, yeah, if I ambush on the road, I still need to get Horde Robber to hit. I could Horde Robber plate armor, but that also seems like... I'm going to attack with Sepulture Goal first. I'm alright with the trade with the Arcane Investigator. Because Zombie Ogre then scries on the trade. Alright. So, if they have another Charmed Sleep, I think that's game. I think I just didn't get the... I missed on a land drop. They got their tempo. I did not. And I'm okay with that. So if they sack that on my turn, which is probably what they'd be planning to do, I actually gain an advantage. Yep, they're threatening lethal on the backswing, on a crackback. So I actually have to get a land and start actually gain some pressure in. Okay, I have the solution. On their turn, I can Feign Death my White Dragon, sacrifice it to Sepulture Goal, and get back in this game. The White Dragon comes to play, tapped as a 5/5. I tap down the Ginny Windseeker. I'm going to put an upkeep stop on them. I actually can't attack here, so... Yeah, I think the plate armor and then just end the turn, do the trick, and I have a Your Ambush on the road ready. Might have wanted to play Horde Robber here instead, but this is okay. Is that a counterspell? Is it a counterspell? It is a counterspell. Okay, I think I'm dead because of that. It had to be a counterspell for that victory for them. So I might just have to ambush on the road my White Dragon and pray I draw a land to keep my board alive. Keep myself alive. Which is a very bad spot to be. Because, yeah, attack with all brings me to 1. This just brings me to 2. Alright. It had to be a counterspell, though. So I have to White Dragon, return to my hand, and get a flyer for this Windseer Pixie Guide combo. So I have to draw a land here. If I don't draw a land, I lose. Alright. Back in this game. At least for a little while. And assuming they just drew a land or some other unplayable. Because if they have a playable, I'm dead in the water once more. They were holding up the Neverwinter Dryad sack, that's my guess. And there's no reason for them to make that sack. They had second Charm Sleep. Alright. Game's not over unless they realize they can attack with all, and I can't stop the Neverwinter Dryad. They realized. Darn it. I'm not going to bother blocking, just waste time. Or, let's see, yeah, I still died to that. Yep, just got the removal. Counterspell. That counterspell was clutch on their part. That counterspell was clutch on their part. By the way, the Feigned Deaths have been alright. I mean, they had to... They felt the need to have to stop counter a Feigned Death, which feels pretty good for me. Yeah, I think Feigned Death is okay, but as you saw there, like, white and blue, their removals are enchantments. Alright, I have Sepulture Gal into Dancing Sword equip. That, I think, is good enough as is. Get myself a 4-2 to swing in with. And if they block it, I get a 2-1 flyer, so I'm not even mad. Alright. So let's see. What do I need to worry about? They're red, so they could be aggressive, but we have a very aggressive start to counter. Genius Smith. Alright. So they get an artifact, perhaps from their deck, so they might draw a card with this. Their pause tells me they actually got 2 artifacts that they hit, and they're trying to decide which one to take. I can then Dancing Sword equip. That gives me a 4-2. I swing in. I'm not bothering blocking. Oh, they missed. They just were pausing for a very long time for some reason. Yep. My pressure is faster than yours, so I'm gonna take it. Get your health total low so I can actually take advantage of it. I'd love to draw a land here. Artifact destruction. Cloister Gargoyle. Okay. I was gonna say it's... Oh, they're just ordering their triggers right now. Okay. So if I attack with a 4-2... Whoa. That is shocking to say the least. Alright. Do I want a combat trick to kill the Ingenious Smith? I have no other plays this turn if I do. Alright, so I'm letting that go. The question is, do I want the Dancing Sword to become a 2-1 flyer? Or do I want to equip it to Barrowin? I'm going to decline for now. I'm going to play Barrowin. And I actually want a plane specifically here, but I'll take a swamp. Neither. They might have a Minimus Containment, which would wreck that, but then I could Zombie Ogre and do stuff like that. Alright, so now they're trying to counter pressure me. Start by attacking. I'm going to leave up your ambush on the road. I'm going to just play the 50 feet of rope and end my turn. I'm not going to play the Delver's Torch right now. Like, what can they be pausing for? Oh, they have your ambush on the road themselves. That's what it is. Oh, but they're going to have Faraday's Fireball next turn, so I'm going to end my turn here. Not worth... Like, Delver's Torch is not good enough to justify allowing myself to play into a trick like that. I could just leave Flame School tapped down if I really want to. Ooh, there we go. So do I make it a 6-5? And so here's the question. Do I make it a 6-5 and attack in? No, no, no. I think we just talked about this. Double block. Good. Now they just lose both Armory Veterans. And the only thing I can think of them playing is your Ambush on the Road, which they just lose one Armory Veteran. So it's a 2-for-1. It's a 2-for-1, or it's a 3, or it's a 2-for-1. Yeah. This is always a 2-for-1. The only thing they can think of is another your Ambush on the Road, which doesn't kill. Just keeps them alive. Alright. So do I Venture, or do I Delver's Torch? Or do I just tap down the Flame School? I think we're winning the pressure game, so, I could leave the Flame School tapped down. 1/1 Goblin, next is a +1/+1 counter. This is actually really tough for me. I think I actually create a treasure token because the -4/-0 will prevent any counter pressure on their part, as well as allow me a more viable means to play the Zombie Ogre. The fact that Flame School can't block just means that their attacks are pretty, like, they have to keep attacking, and their attacks aren't good. If they venture to force me to discard a card, I'm happy discarding Delver's Torch. I'm also just happy losing 2 life. Alright. I think I'm going to get some sleep now. See ya. Alright, bye. Alright. I think I'm attacking into that and allowing the trade, and then I'm playing Zombie Ogre to re-equip the Dancing Sword too. Because I think Ruinor is threatening enough to justify that trade. Alright. Now my Zombie Ogre triggers, giving me the... having me tap down the Ruinor, basically. I'm gonna play the Delver's Torch. And I'm gonna give Ruinor -4/-0, so... Alright. So I can tap 4 Venture, tap 3 Equip, and I get Sepulchre Gull. That is very aggressive, but it also, can win me games. So it's just the question of how aggressive I want to be. I am getting low on health, so... Okay, here's my play. Equip here. I could turn into a 6/7 if I... No, I'm gonna draw a card. I'm gonna attack here. Venture, draw a card. If I played the land, I actually could have done that trick, but... Alright, they're doing trades. That's very good for me. Alright. I don't think I want to bother tapping that down. If I discard this, it actually allows me to use it with Barrowin later. I really just need to make sure Brenor doesn't kill me. Scry again. That's perfect here. That's actually perfect here. I'm okay with this trade. I could actually block and then Guardian of Faith. Or... Ooh, that's tough on me. That's tough on me. Alright, they're starting to threaten lethal thanks to Cave of the Frost Dragon. I think I just play Guardian of Faith and so I could start swinging in. Yep. Here's something on watch. It's going to be good, along with 50 feet of rope. Alright, I think I just attack with all. I get Sepulchre Gull off of the Barrowin. Zombie Ogre gives me Ventures. Like, we're going to be good. Zombie Ogre gives me a 1/1 Goblin for blocking, and Barrowin gives me a Sepulchre Gull. Okay, so they block there. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. I can actually hear something on watch to give my creatures +1/+1, and then 50 feet of rope to make them lose 1 life, and I gain 1 life. So if this is their blocks, I hear something on watch, deal the damage. Because I force them to make blocks here, and that's the cool part. Then I could hear something on otherwise I could hear on something on watch the Frost Dragon. 5, 6, 7. I think that's a safer play. It allows me to play around any life gain they might have. What life gain spells are in this format? Because the only one I can think of is Potion of Healing. Faraday's Fireball is a spell they might have. So I think I actually should play a little safe. So I'm going to just attack this turn. I win next turn. Like, just let time go on. But even if they have a combat trick, I tap this down, I survive, and I kill them next turn. Go. Yep. Like, I can play around tricks, but the longer I play around tricks, the more opportunities I give them to get said tricks. Like, the longer I play around tricks, the more time I give them to make comebacks. So, there's certain points where you just have to commit and just say, don't play around the trick. If the trick is not reasonable to play around, then don't, is my general rule. Alright. I have a Dancing Sword, and I have, you hear something on watch, and then I have some good combat tricks. Once I get a creature, the creature's going to stay safe. And also, I hate mulliganing in Limited. Because in Limited, that one card is sometimes all that matters. Alright. Well, we have our lands basically taken care of. If I draw a 2-drop, I get to play it and equip it. I am not using Here's Something on Watch on a 1/1, in case anyone's wondering. I will use it on a Soul Knife Spy if they play that later, this turn. Alright, I'm using it on Gatherlights. Unfortunately, that means they're going to draw a card beforehand. Sucks to be me. They had a turn 3 Gatherlights. I didn't get my cards in time. Alright. Karia's drop. Get this. And Venture. I'm looking for a creature. It's a creature. I'm not going to complain right now. Board Robber, equip it. I have a 3/4 basically that they have to block. And then I hold up a You Hear Something on Watch for the Ginny Windseer. Alright. And if they kill it somehow, I could feign death, or I could just equip the Dancing Sword. So I have a few options. Alright. They definitely have card advantage. They definitely have card advantage here. But I think pressure-wise, surprisingly, I'm pretty close to on par. That was not something I expected with how poor that went. Alright, so they're tapping down my Horde Robber so they can get in. Roll low. Okay, that's fine. I'll kill the Ginny Windseer. Because it seems like they're low to the ground height. Do I kill the Shambling Guest instead? Let's see, how threatening is Venturing? We are about to become equal in card advantage, so I'm going to say that the Shambling Guest is actually a threat here. Alright, because that is the weaker creature, but that is the 2/4/1. So that's why that was played as was. Alright. I mean, yes, I could ambush on the road, return this to my hand, play it again, but I think I'd rather just take 2 damage from Sign of Stygia. The Wind Robber is definitely an issue, but it's like both of them had flying. I couldn't deal with either. I kind of wish I could have killed my Horde Robber so the Dancing Sword could have come into play as a 2/1. I'll equip that later. Well, we're dead next turn. Unless we could do something to let our Zombie Ogre die. Well, double Aircoal Elemental, bouncing back our hand. We did not have responses. Yep. Okay. This is one of those games I don't think I could have won, so I'm okay with this. Going as poorly as it did. I mean, they have, like, I could have held up, but there is no cards in this format that would stop them from attacking. There are 0 cards in this format. Maybe I should have stayed just so people can watch. There is the possibility of them disconnecting, technically. But I also think, like, there's a certain point where your time is a resource in and of itself. So, I don't exactly want to sit around, watch them diddle-daddle before killing me. One, there was no way I could come back. Alright, 50-foot rope into Horde Robber, and then a single Plains gets me into Priest of Ancient Lore. And if I don't get the Plains, the Horde Robber might get me into Priest of Ancient Lore anyways. Ugh. That's good for them. But I'm happy to block that with the Priest of Ancient Lore specifically. How do I feel about blocking it with my Horde Robber? They are spending their turn equipping. They get a single treasure token. I kill a 1/1. No, I'd rather have the treasure token. Yeah, I don't want to play the Ranger Hawk because then the Shambling Guest kills both. This one I'll block. They're at 2 lands, so they need that treasure to play a card here. They went first. Yeah, they're at 2 lands. I'm pretty sure they went first. Yeah. They went first, and they're stuck at 2 lands, so the treasure token's actually very valuable for them. I see. This is not worth pumping for. This I'm just doing to threaten them. And then I just play the Zombie Ogre. They're still stuck on lands. But that's scary, because that means once they start getting lands, they're going to be the pressure giver by a long shot. So I have to get to a position where they're out of lands, basically. So I'm probably going to have to use you hear something on watch on this guy. Or, you know what? I could just Grim Bounty this. That will get me an adventure. And I mean, what else am I... My other plays kind of suck. I could do this, attack with both, sacrifice the treasure to Grim Bounty. I think I do spend the treasure... I do think I spend a treasure token to play Ranger's Hawk, because that just adds one more damage of pressure. I'm not sure I want to land right now. Because their land are ruined, I think just getting pressure instead of lands is more important. I have treasure tokens to help me with that as well, so... I also have a you hear something on watch as a pump. If they play another creature. Let's see how this fares. They do have the card advantage. They did get their mountain. So they're going to have some stuff. Alright. They destroy an artifact. That's okay. Yep. If you have rope, with how little pressure they had, I think that's okay. They block the 1/3. I am going to, you hear something on the road, to just get rid of that thing now. And it also ventures for me. Awesome. I now have an ambush and a Dawnbringer Cleric. They only have 3 mana. They spent their time destroying my rope instead of creating a treasure for more value on their side. My Ranger's Hawk is allowing me to... See, next is put +1/+1 counter on target creature. Alright. So I could... Oh, I should have equipped Delver's Torch. Alright. I mean, if I leave this on tap, I feel like I have to tap it to venture. Finish my ventures. I'm not blocking with Horde Robber, so I'm actually going to tap here. Put on the Ranger's Hawk. Yep. End my turn here. They equip the Talisman, then that actually means very low tempo for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With Delver's Torch, I actually have lethal next turn. If they just equip the Talisman and end their turn, I have lethal. That feels kind of amazing. Oh wait, 11. Let me recalculate. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And, the 11th comes from Delver's Torch. Okay. Alright. Made it. exact lethal. Ooh. And by the way, he had a lethal in the backswing if he pulled it off. The opponent actually put themselves back in a good spot, which is impressive in its own way. Whew. 5-2. So I just need 2 more wins, and I get maxed out again. Zombie ogres are nice. Zombie ogres are nice. The Delver's Torch is probably the weakest card in this deck right now, but even then, it's a good enough card a lot of the times. Alright, opponent goes first. I have Warlock class use the Warlock class to get myself a Plains, to Dancing Sword, and to Grim Bounty later. This is actually a bad hand now that I'm looking at it again, because my only creature is White Dragon. But yeah, the Warlock class is going to have to get me a Plains. Which does mean instead of like 3 draws out of plane, I have like 7 draws out of plane, and I am now in a very bad spot. I have to do this looking for a creature instead. Ugh. Not until turn 4. But I take it. It is the pick nonetheless. Now they're going to ramp out heavily, and I have to hope that they commit all of their treasure and such into a big creature that I can Grim Bounty. If they spread wide like they are now, it's very bad for me. Alright. Next turn I can decide whether I want to Barrowin or Grim Bounty, depending on what they play. They chose green. Okay. Yep, that's probably the play. I do recognize that as a good play. They deal 5 damage, and they get a treasure token, which means they definitely have the value they need. If they play a big creature here, I can Grim Bounty it. If they don't, which they didn't, I instead Barrowin, and I venture for a Scry. They are low on cards, though. That is my one advantage. They're low on cards. I actually need lands now. Oh, how the time changes. They don't have much pressure, and I do have a kill spell for their first big creature, but the thing is, they have pressure. And this is where their Grim Bounty's for. Oh, thank God. Yep, they should sacrifice the old Gnawbone to prevent me from getting the treasure. Ugh. Land, Zombie Ogre, hopefully puts me back in this game. They do have the ramp they need, but hopefully they just are stuck with just 1,000 lands and no card draw. Because, yeah, they have enough to play whatever they want. That treasure destruction actually is preventing me from... I'm going to play this. I'm going to actually leave up my mana for a Feign Death. So I'm going to block the Sepulture Goal if they attack with it. Let them sacrifice to pump theirs up. Then I'm going to Feign Death mine to get myself a 3-2. I have to make this trade, I feel. If I could get a land, I can also have a Zombie Ogre, and then we just are kind of in a stalemate. Except in this stalemate, I have far more lands. Oh god. If I treasure token, I can actually get the zombie ogre. But I think I do this to actually prevent the zombie ogre from attacking easily. The giant herd gorger. Good for them. Alright. If they attack with Hill Giant Herd Gorger, I can chump with the Goblin. If I play Zombie Ogre, I can basically triple block, and I win the trade just slightly. I have a second Zombie Ogre to back it up, so I'm okay with that. Let them organize it. Alright. Alright, so I keep the Sepulchral. They are venturing, and that sucks for me, but I have another Zombie Ogre, so I have that at least. Ooh, ring games are tough today. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised. Alright. Start making my way back, slowly but surely. Green, black. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're turning that into a venture. That was smart. That was smart on their part. I'm gonna leave the white dragon up. I'm okay trading the white dragon for the clattering skeleton. I'm gonna trade. I could trade the Sepulchral for the clattering skeletons, actually. Attack with all. Alright. This dirtles. This trades. I think I actually double block here to kill it. Yeah, I like that. They do kill the white dragon, but I have the zombie ogre, and they don't get to continue venturing. Yeah, even if they use their Shambling Ghast, if they somehow sack the Shambling Ghast, they're still not putting themselves in advantage. Oof. Spoils of the Hunt did help them a lot. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that it did that as well. Okay, they actually buffed it up with treasures, so we lost that trade 15 times over. Alright, so we're dead on board, I'm pretty sure. Yep, if they go into Tomb of Annihilation, we're dead on board. Thanks, land. Thanks, land. I mean, we had to do that block. We're low on health. We didn't draw our 5th land. Yep. I still think that was the correct play. I still think that was the correct play. Like, we lost every creature in the process either way, and other ways just kept us dead on board next turn anyways. So we got 5 wins. Definitely the lack of removal hurt. The lack of getting to my 5 drops, like, the fact that I kept getting zombie ogres, and they didn't make it through, like, I never got to play them, also hurt. The Gloomstalker did nothing, never got to see it in play, never got to see it in action. Ranger's Hawk was okay, I think 1 was good. I have a full play set of them. I probably should have pulled out the Delver's Torch just to put in, like, another Ranger's Hawk or a Half-Elf Monk. Yeah, I should have put in the Half-Elf Monk at the price of the Delver's Torch. That probably would have helped a lot. The 50 feet of rope seemed fine. Yeah. Feign Death seemed like a good enough combat trick. It's not a, like, amazing combat trick, but it's a combat trick that can see play, that can do its job. At least I reached Diamond. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. By no means was this a bad draft. It just, like, I played it the best I could, and the losses were places I don't like them being. I could have built a slightly better deck. I could have leveraged a few themes. I could have gone for treasures and zombie ogres earlier. That definitely is a thing I could have done. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Alright. Mindful Line just doing some runs in the background. But yeah, glad to have you here, man. Alright. Since we have this mastery token, let's just really quick grab the old Nodbone sleeve. So all that we have left is the final sleeve. So yeah, I don't really care about the card arts, but like they've been adding these sleeves, and these sleeves are pretty awesome to look at. So I've actually had a reason to use my mastery orbs. That's always nice. Ebondeath's great. Inferno of the Star Mount is great. And then it's just like, from there, it's like, hey, we'll get the ones that are there. They might have themes later. Nonetheless, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.